Hello, friends of financial freedom. I am so excited to introduce you all. I do not meet a stranger, and y'all know that. But this person right here is a sister. And I tell you, I love this woman so dearly. I'm just so excited that she's here with us. So, on behalf of our founder, Dr. I always want to say Dr. Darshan, you might as well be a doctor. On behalf of our founder, Darshan Kendrick, welcome to Friends of Financial Freedom video. And so for those of you that are watching, if you haven't reached out to me yet to do your video, I would love to do this profile for you as well. And so we're going to get started. So I'm happy to introduce Cierra Fly Bobo, and she has probably 6 streams of income. It may be even more than that. She is the most active, the most spread out, when I think about all the different things that she's doing, it really is astounding to me. And also runs a nonprofit, and also is about to be mom to a 1-year-old next week. And today, speaking of children, today she birthed her 4th book. And y'all, she's like 18 years old herself. No, she's really not. But he has done a lot in her very short life. And so the way that Fly and I met is we are both certified trainers of nonviolence for the King Center. So as I said, I love her dearly, and I am delighted that she's here. And so let's just jump right in. So Fly, why don't you tell the group just your streams of income, and then we'll go from there.
Ooh. My main stream is Cierra Bobo LLC, which is 10 years old this year, which is self-employed that long. I haven't had a 95 years. Wow. That's like basically all my IP is underneath Cierra Bobo LLC, whether music that I used to do, books that I write, content that I develop, anything that, or even like consulting strategies that all of that falls under Cierra Bobo LLC, speaking, training, all of that. So okay. So that's basically what that is. That's my main source of income. And then I have G.R.I.T, which is my clothing brand, which I birthed in the middle of the pandemic, June 2020, hence G.R.I.T. So that is my baby. I went to school. I have a fashion degree, and it's a childhood dream to have my own clothing line. And so we're 2 years old this year. And so that's one stream. And then with the different business streams, I am the brand strategist for a nonprofit here in Atlanta. I'm a certified trainer with you, and a lot of other ways, just keeping my portfolio really diversified. I have several different contracts with different organizations right now, and I'm just very blessed and fortunate to not just have one stream, which I used to do, but I just learned the wisdom and diversify so that you can listen to other people, most importantly, and create stability for legacy.
Yeah. So I want y'all to hear that. Number one, the wisdom in diversifying, that you don't just have one stream of income. Number two, the wisdom and beauty to grow so many streams of income that you get to be a blessing to others. And how phenomenal is that? And so actually we could just stop the interview right there, because all of that is just brilliant. However, I want them, okay, so those of you that know me, I wear G.R.I.T design every day. And so this is one of them, and she embroiders Dr. Roz on all of my sleeves. So I've already ordered actually my Christmas jackets, because I have a holiday extravaganza the first week of November. And so I've already ordered that. And I have my first pair of custom shoes coming. So all of that is from Fly, and I'm so excited about that. So that's how I am a brand. I am a brand ambassador for G.R.I.T brand, and I absolutely love it. But what I really wanted to talk to her about today is her book that debuts today. I was able to order it this morning, and I got the first hardcover copy. So I'm excited, and I'm going to get her to autograph it. But Fly, just tell us a little bit about the book, Don't, give anything away. Obviously, we want people to buy it, but tell us about the book, but also tell us about the process, and tell us about how a book can also contribute to financial freedom, whatever the topic is.
Man, first of all, thank you for just having me, if I didn't say that already, and thank you for always supporting my brand and wearing our clothes, and I'm so grateful. I just want to put that out there. So thank you.
You're welcome.
But my book, yeah, it came out today, Bouncing Back from the 4Ds, which are depression, disease, death, and divorce. And so I started writing this book about 3-4 years ago. I was really dealing with some heavy depression, and a lot of things that I was walking through at the time. I believe the stress of it all contributed to me getting sick. So part of it, and walking through that process, wanting to be healthy again, wanting to be whole. In the midst of that, I started losing people to death. I lost last 3 years. I miscarried my first child, that I'm very close to. So I had 5 major deaths in the last 3 to 4 years. And so it was like all this was happening at the same time.
Right.
And then at the beginning of this year, me and my best friend, after almost 8 years of being together, we decided to divorce. And so that were like things that could typically try to take you out from
Yes.
the hope of life, really. And so I wanted to write something about how do you bounce back from those things, because a lot of people may not relate to all 4Ds, but maybe, man,
Yes.
I did somebody that was close to me and I'm still grieving that. How do you bounce back from that? And or maybe I've been more sad lately than normal. Maybe the depression or mental health things or challenges. And maybe you got a diagnosis you didn't care for.
Right.
What do you for despite the diagnosis?
Yeah.
And lastly, what if unfortunately, divorce happens? What happens then? How do you move forward? How do you, really, just choose to say, you know what, I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to stay broken. How can I just reconcile this situation in a way that's still honorable and loving and respectful, and in my future?
Right.
And so I really I'm a person of faith, and so I really prayed about a lot of things, and I just felt like God put on my heart to write this book and to give some practical wisdom on what do you do when you find yourself in these situations? How do you bounce back?
Yeah.
And so, we practical things, as well as some spiritual things, but mostly like just that I was able to apply and see the fruit of being rejuvenated despite experiencing all those things in a short period. That's pretty much. I just pray that how many ever people read it, that it really gives them tools. That was give them tools to apply to their life, or even wisdom on how to seek out tools that may work for them that didn't work for me, or might have worked for me but may not work.
Right. So the question that I asked you was, how can a book help you in towards financial freedom, regardless of the topic? But your particular topic, those 4Ds, every one of those Ds can negatively impact our financial freedom. And therefore, the tools that you're talking about can then mitigate that. We just actually 2 days ago, we had a really dear friend who had an organ transplant, and we thought he was on his way to recovery, and he's about my age, and he passed away. And they're looking at hospital bills of 6 figures. And so 2 of those D's are there. They're looking at that disease progression, but then also now having to navigate without him. And so all of those are so critical for us to think about. So thank you for addressing those. I haven't read the book, but I know it's going to be amazing. Oh, go ahead, Fly.
Sorry to cut you off, because there's so much financial wisdom in the book.
Excellent.
Because a lot of the stress that I was under around the depression was about where I was financially. So
Ah,
finances in the book a lot. Um, broke, not having, just pursuing purpose, um, but not having the means to really sustain myself, and how that led to me becoming depressed. How
mm,
even where I miscarried, I was out hustling, trying to get a loan to pay the rent. And so,
mm,
and miscarried the next day. So finances to me is so important because um I believe that poverty is just, as Dr. King says, evil. But I
yes.
also believe it strips people of their identity and their confidence.
Mm-hmm.
It creates insecurities. It creates a level of stress that leads to sickness. When I look in impoverished communities, a lot of times you see the sickness is high in those areas, and so there's related, because a lot of people don't have health care. Like when I first got sick, I didn't have talk about that in the book. Why? Because I couldn't afford it. So
Wow.
finances is very heavily threaded throughout this book, because that's one of the practical tools I talk about. You got to have your stuff in order.
Yeah.
Stress, disease in the mind creates disease in the body, and then when you're not financially stable, it's going to create dis-ease, because you're always trying to figure out how I'm going to eat, how I'm going to have gas to do my everyday accomplishments, whether it's going to work, going to the store, or do I have enough money to go to the doctor to get this procedure?
Mm,
Um, all those things. And so when I got sick in the midst of not having insurance, um, barely having enough money to pay my rent. Um, just on a hope and prayer. I even talk about one time giving food to the community through my eating a slice of the pizza I was giving out. So
mm,
um, finances, I know I didn't hit it when you first asked me the question, but it's so heavily threaded throughout this book, because it was one of the things that triggered me being depressed and feeling bad about where I was in life. Other things too, but that piece was huge. And so the
mm,
wisdom from that lesson um, of being financially free,
mm-hmm.
and only to be stable, but to live in abundance, so that you can be a blessing to other people and empower other people to also be financially free and pass it on and pass it on. But
Mm-hmm.
poverty, I think it's connected to so many other bad things that are
Right.
really humanity.
Right, right, right. And threaded throughout every bit of that, because that's who you are, is nonviolence.
Yeah,
Every bit of what you just talked about, because you have lived it and taught it for so long. And for that, I am deeply grateful. Well, as soon as I post this video in the Facebook group, then Fly is going to go in and she's going to put a link to the book. Buy the hardback copy. She's going to put a link to G.R.I.T brand. So if you're interested in doing, and I mean, I kind of does, I mean, no, she designs the fabric and does all of that, but I kind of said exactly what it was I'm looking for. And if you look at all the different folks that she designs for, then they're all their style. So don't feel like just because you don't like, bright floral colors that have Dr. Roz on them, that she's not for you, because everything is fully custom. And so she's going to drop the link for that. And then Fly, drop anything else that you want to drop too. And this doesn't have to be a one and done. So just know that as new projects come up, and all of you that are watching, if you've already done an interview with me and you want to do another one, then let's do another one. I mean, what this group is all about is focusing on financial freedom, and however we can do that. And I'm frankly not doing enough videos, and so I encourage each one of y'all to reach out, and I'd love to highlight your expertise as well. Fly, as I've already said, I love you dearly. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you for having me, and I appreciate anybody that wants to support anything that I do. And I'm looking forward to seeing more interviews in the group.
Great. Great. All right, everybody. Thanks. Bye-bye.